We can do it. I'm just going to start from the top because obviously my button. Oh, what a day. It's been a fun day of technical difficulties. How about now, James? I hear you saying can't hear you, but can you hear me now? I need a thumbs up. I need somebody saying we're good. Yes, awesome. Welcome to the Hempibition. I'm actually waiting for the guest, Jason, to come on. I don't see him, but when he does, we'll bring him out. And if he doesn't, I will create something for you guys. I actually have a good plan. We're going to talk about how to make diving on. Jason saying he's coming in. Oh, awesome. So what I want to chat about today, whether with Jason but he's coming on, so we're good. But I want to send a message of the fact that you can make money from home. And regardless of who you are, the situation, I don't care what part of the world you're in, there's a way to make money at home and from your cell phone and from any beach in the world. So we're gonna go deep today because I believe it's a big deal today. So we're gonna go deep on that today because it is a hot topic. So everybody that's here, we're doing this on Facebook. It's alive. This will get repurposed to iTunes on the podcast called The Hempibition, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, all that fun stuff. And then, of course, it'll be repurposed to the YouTube channel, The Hempibition. And outside of that, it'll always be here on my wall on Facebook. I see Jason. He's in the waiting room. I'm going to introduce him in about 30 seconds, and then we're going to start this party because he has a lot to share. He just hit a big rank in our business, and that means money is flowing. So guess what? He's buying drinks. That's what I heard. You guys can't see him. I see him in the waiting room. He's he doesn't think I'm funny right now. Here's what's exciting on Facebook. Because we're on Facebook, you guys know the rules. You're going to smash the heart button. You're going to tag, share anybody that needs to hear this conversation. And of course, comments are very, very important. So let's begin the comments so the algorithm blows up. And I guess the first question I have for you guys is, do you already have a home-based business? I just need a yes or a no, so we know who to talk to as we're having this conversation. For the person, we're going to do our typical giveaway. We're going to do a bottle of 500 milligram CBD oil from HempWorks. It's literally some of the best CBD oil on the market, organically grown, produced, CO2 processed. Boom, nothing but the best, right? The person that simply shares this with the most people or tags the most people simply will receive this bottle of 500 milligram CBD oil from HempWorks. Are you guys ready? I need to hear I'm ready. I mean, should I bring him out? Because he's like one of those bulls, ready to come out. Should I do it? Well, check this out. I want to introduce you guys to someone that's got this phenomenal. Let me just look at him. He's got this phenomenal energy. And, we met probably, 18, 19, 20 months ago. I don't know how long it's been exactly, but in person, we met one time at convention, and the energy you see here is even bigger in person because he's all like this ball of love. He's just this ball of phenomenal positive energy. It's all positivity. There's always opportunity in everything that he does, everything that he says. And for me, that got my attention very quickly because that's all I'm about. With all that said, you guys know his story. If you don't know his story, he's come from a phenomenal background in the tech world. He's done some cool stuff in network marketing, but all of that got him ready for what's going on today in the business of HempWorks, my daily choice. He's hit a rank called 100K affiliate, which is a big freaking deal. And we're going to talk about it today, the how, the who, can anybody do it? We'll go deep on all that stuff. But first thing I want to say is huge congratulations, my brother. It is an honor to have you on the show. Welcome to the Hempibition.
Thank you, Andre. I am super grateful, excited to be here. When you made the bull in the cage comment, and I was into dude, I'm ready to go. Let's go.
I know you.
I was pretty calm until you said that. I'm like, okay, dude.
Screw it. I love it. Welcome, brother. How are you, man? How does it feel to be 100K?
Oh man, it's amazing. I'm loving life. I'm loving 100K. I'm loving this journey with yourself. I love your whole family, man. You guys are, every time I pull something up, I can tell just the culture you've created in your whole family environment. It's just super inspiring, man. I love it. You guys are amazing. And I'm just getting to know like your daughters and all you guys. So it's
Yeah, thank you.
I'm super honored to be here, Andre, as well. I was just about 10 minutes ago, I was up in the kitchen talking with my daughter, finishing up lunch, and I had this huge gratitude session, just realizing like that I remember seeing people on your show over the past like many months. And I was like, that would be so cool to be on there one day. And I was sitting there like, whoa, that's today, man.
That's me. That's so cool. Well, it's an honor, like I know you, and I know your work ethic over the last, year plus, whatever it's been. And to see you hit a rank of 100K is a big deal. So I want to have this conversation today, pretending like everybody on here doesn't know what we're talking about. So I want to like really dummy it down to the point that, look, if you can do it, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And basically for everybody out there to hit 100K affiliate, everybody starts at zero. There's no like, oh, he started and you got a hand up type of thing. There's no such thing. So you first hit 5K affiliate, then you go to 10K affiliate, then you go to 25K affiliate, then 50K affiliate, and then you double that puppy to 100K affiliate. And what's exciting is that comes with a $10,000 cash bonus, cash money, and then it comes with a monthly cash bonus as well. So you get a one-time upfront of 10 G's, and then you get a monthly stipend of it's $1,000 right? For you don't even
I literally don't. I think it's either 1 or 2K. It's a big.
I think it's 2K. It's 2K.
I actually had it all memorized, bro, and I like just the whole last like month, pretty much since this Corona, which I call blessing, and I'm happy to explain that because I had somebody get pissed about that yesterday.
Yeah.
It was my life has been so fun and chaotic, and I love the chaos. I love just like crazy happening every day, every moment. And I just lost track of some of the stuff that I was like, the exacts of the comp plan and everything else. It's just been a ride. It's been awesome.
That's awesome. I think it is 2000. I'm sure Aaron Parker's on here. If Aaron, if you can clarify. And what's cool is this. Look, you guys, like for me today, we're 22 months. I don't even know how long it's been into this thing. I really don't to this day know the comp plan. So don't take it on yourself. Like I have to know every detail. That's bullshit. So with that said, again, congratulations, brother. You deserve it more than anybody else I know in the company. 100K, 250 is the next spot. You're going to blow up. I'm excited for you. But I want people to just briefly understand or hear your story, like the struggles of where you come from. And then we'll just literally go deep into exactly how you did it.
Yeah. So, Andre, where would be good? Because you know a lot of my story. Where do you want me to start? Like how I got into the industry or how I got into HempWorks? They're both entry points.
No, yeah, let's go back a little bit because I want people to understand that this doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
It's like running a marathon doesn't happen tomorrow. You gotta do the work. And so where did your work begin to hit 100K?
Yeah, I think the best place to start is I'm going to rewind us back to the year 2005. And my oldest son who just turned 15, I took him his first driving lesson. Like it's nice. Actually fun. But so he was just born, and within his first 6 months or so of his life, I was filing bankruptcy. And I was just like, I felt like the biggest loser, the worst dad, just the worst person. And I'm the oldest of 4 children. And my dad always had like this perfect credit score. And so I had this belief system of you always pay all of your bills no matter what.
Right.
And Robert Kiyosaki thankfully kind of knocked that out of me just in the next year later. But I felt horrible for quite a while. And so I was primed to look for something of like, how could this happen? Because what happened was that, so number one, I signed an adjustable rate mortgage, which actually hit me a couple years. Actually, no, it was the bankruptcy. So I was a little premature to the banking crash. My arm adjusted in 2005. The same month, I lost a software engineering job. And one other thing adjusted. It was all crazy. It was like God and the universe were like, dude, this is what you're supposed to do right now. And I just filed and I didn't know what else to do. And, so I share that because I was afraid to talk about that for like at least 5 years after that, maybe 10. And I share that because it put me in a place of like, okay, I was laid off in the tech burst of 2001. It happened again in 2005. And I'm like, is there even any certainty? And what I'll share, and like, I didn't learn the lesson quite yet. I needed, like, apparently I'm like thick and I just needed this lesson.
Wait, there's more. Yeah.
Can I have some more, please?
Yeah. I'm not done.
Are you sure? Are you sure this corporate thing won't really work? I thought the 40 years to make 40,000 and retire off 40% what wasn't enough in the first place was real.
Yeah, and to get a $40 watch at the end.
So I share all that to say I was introduced to a book in 2006. It was from Robert G. Allen, Multiple Streams of Income. And he shared 10 chapters on how to create residual income, tax liens, all kinds of stuff. And one of the chapters was on building network marketing using the power of the internet. And so it was fascinating that that chapter just grabbed me out of all of them. And he said, focus on one of these 10 things for the next 12 months. And that one just like stuck with me. I played with a few of them. I'm like, this seems good. And so next thing I knew, I joined a company in May 2006, and I actually had some success my first month because I literally talked to all my friends and family, and I went crazy, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I just was the maniac with. So I thought, like, get 5 people, they're gonna each get 5, we're all set for life, and it's over. So I got 19 instead, and then the 19 got 2 over the next 4 months. And I was like, what the hell's going on? So I share that because it was, I had a decent start, but then it just flattened out for a while. And I struggled for months. And the real blessing happened in 2007. So fast forward a little bit. I'm making a little bit, like 500 a month, maybe less than 1,000 somewhere in my network marketing business. I'm working at a tech job where it wasn't even tech. I was working at a school which taught education, and we taught tech stuff and medical stuff to students. And I was in their enrollment department, and I made the school $1 million. And I'd almost never been in sales. I did some cold calls back in 2001 in a little company I started. I hated it to death. I was like, screw that, never do it again. So these weren't cold calls. They were people coming in. And I share that because it changed the whole game for me, where the people already were interested in the school. So I was cool with talking to them at that point. And that really plays into how network marketing has worked well for me, is that so I'll just share this, like when I reach out to people unexpectedly and have to like break the ice and build rapport and all that, that doesn't feel as comfortable as and I'll do that. And I've taught it and I'm decent at it. I just don't love it. What I love is when people send me emails or text messages or whatever that say, hey, I'm interested in what you're doing. Can I learn more? So now they're already interested. I'm not like, hey, is this a pyramid?
Yeah, the door is open. Yeah, I like that. So that it's really important because that's kind of what that book had planted in my mind. And because I'd done the cold calling thing, I was making 300 dials a day in 2001. And damn,
it was actually, so, okay, this is crazy, guys. I've only shared this a handful of times. That, Andre, I don't think you know this for sure, is that, so in 2001, I started a company with one of my good friends from soccer. They had modeled it from another company they had just come out of, him and one other guy. It was 3 of us partners. And the other partner that I didn't know started doing some shady stuff. And I just didn't really like it. And he wanted to bring on this lawyer and give him like 25% of the company. I'm like, dude, this isn't right. He was a couple years older than us, so he felt like he knew better. He was an idiot, to be honest. He was crazy. So after a while, I walked from the company, and they were getting lawsuit threats and all this stuff. And I share that because the company went on to do 9 figures, and they're still around. Well, they've rebranded 4 times, called a new company.
Yeah.
It's so bad. But when I was filing bankruptcy in 2005, my friend was banking 40 grand a month in the company I started, and they couldn't run it without any of my tech stuff. They even brought me back a year later, and I was supposed to be getting paid 2 grand a month. I put in a whole like a month. The main guy that I didn't like walks in with this white envelope, and he drops it on my desk, my little table thing, and he whispers something. I didn't know what he said. And I thought he said like, I'm sorry, but he kind of mumbled it, and I didn't know what he said. So I opened it up, and it's a check for $1,000, not $2,000. And I was like, what? I literally, I didn't even do anything. I shut my laptop, left forever, haven't touched it. So
that's cool.
Brought me back as a consultant in my own company and then screwed me again.
Wow. That's good.
No, the first time I walked, and I share that because as I was filing bankruptcy, realizing I walked away from what turned into 40 grand at the time a month for each of us, was that, you know, a few years later, my friend was in rehab, divorced, and had been like, he lost his part of the company. He was in a lawsuit with his own company. And I share all that because we literally created a boiler room. And when I saw the writing on the wall, I walked, and I'm not exaggerating. When I was a tech back with them, we had 60 employees, 40 sales guys, complete boiler room. No shit. Openers, closers, wood, watch the movie all day long. They go out at lunch and come back, and everybody's on drugs, all the drugs, anything you can imagine. And they come back from lunch, and like, you're like, what? Like, it's crazy. So pretty crazy story there. And I am grateful I walked from that. I remember my friend, he was going into rehab, and he was like, Jason, I super respect you walked from that, because that's back when we were just starting to make some money. And I was just like, just didn't feel right in any way. I was just not comfortable with any of it. And I share all that because I know a lot of people chase after the money doing stuff that's just not a good fit for them.
Right.
And their intuition is saying, dude, do that. There's something better for you. And I think it's not an easy decision, but it always works out best to follow your heart and your intuition.
That's deep. So you gave me so many nuggets there, but I want to go with, because I want to fast forward into today. Good. How do you use, so I mean, look, you said you're making 300 dials a day back in 2001.
Yep.
So when I said that your success really started 20 years ago, this is the story that I want people to get. Don't think you're going to start a business, start a franchise, start a multi-level marketing company, start an affiliate program, and all of a sudden, you know, Jesus is going to hook you up. And he might, but he's going to work your ass off first. Let's keep it real. It might take a few months. It might take a couple of years, depending on the muscle, the business muscle that you've already built.
Yeah, totally.
So that is so important. Let me ask you a question. Can anyone do what we do? Is it for everybody? Okay.
So my opinion, I just heard a differing opinion just last week from a really well-known industry personal development guy. My belief is that I do believe anybody can do it. Okay. I think if they are not a people person, or if they don't enjoy serving and working with people, it is much harder, but it is possible. They may not it might be one of those intuition things like, hey, maybe you're better to go hide behind a computer, be an affiliate marketer, and hide behind the scenes,
right,
instead of work with people. But I've also seen situations where I've had upline members or myself, like I've had big affiliates on the team that suck with people, but they just pass it on if somebody's willing to kind of do some of the heavy lifting for them.
Right. It's a little combo. Yeah.
So I do think I do think anybody can make it. I do think a major asset. I think the big three things I look for someone who they're going to end up at the top or towards the top of a company. Someone who has heart, ambition. They're hungry. They need to go make some money. Someone who the heart is, so I call these 3 H's, but the heart is to serve others, like I just talked about a second ago.
Right.
And then the middle one is, are they humble, which really means like, are they teachable? So if they're teachable, ambitious, a heart to serve others, it's almost a guarantee. If they will just stick out whatever they need to persist through, they will do really well. I'm talking very, very well, not just replace their job income. And I think other people that might be missing some of those, like I tell people, you can make it with 2 of 3. You may not be at the very top, but you can do decent if you focus on the things you have.
Yeah, you got 66%.
Yeah. So I don't believe in like only 2 or 5% make it, or that the 5% of people that are natural sales people. I don't buy into that. I've seen people who suck at sales that thrive in this industry.
I agree. Yeah.
So that's my take on those things.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's a great point, because I've seen phenomenal like people that you would think would like come in here and like kill it. Like, oh, he's going to the top. Zero happens. Zero. So I get that, and it's bizarre how it works. I've also seen people that don't have the people skills that are and this is a big message to everybody out there listening or watching. You don't have to be that people person. Like Jason and I were very much people, right? But I know people in this business that sit behind a freaking computer, don't talk to anybody, and they're killing it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't understand. They've mastered that side of it, right? Where I'm really good at this, but I haven't mastered the digital side. I'm working on it. I don't own it yet.
Yep.
So great points. How do you, let's go back to the 3 H's, because it seems that's the core of everything you do. And how do you implement that in what you do and then your team?
It's really, I use it as a frame of things to look for people to keep my eye on. So new people coming in that I see displaying those 3 traits, I let their sponsor, their upline know. I make sure I keep a closer eye on them. I'll reach out to them more, because I allow people to reach out more. I'm not hyper proactive. In fact, so this is something I try to let people know joining me. I'm not going to chase somebody down to join me, and I'm not going to check on them every day at all. And so 70% of the world is actually more passive than active. So the active people, like, it's natural for them. The passive people that are waiting, like, well, is Jason going to check on me? Like, I probably won't. That's me. But I also know amazing sponsors and mentors that, like, they are always checking in with people. And I think there's some good balance to find, because I remember on teams where I would check in so much, and the team would get big enough where I couldn't figure out who to check in with. And I got really burnt talking to the wrong people.
That's good.
Because if they don't have the 3 H's, they drain me, not inspire me.
Right.
So if I have to drag them through any of those 3 H's, I'll just be honest, like, I don't really work with people that don't display all 3.
Nice.
That doesn't mean they don't get help, because I can pass them on somewhere. And they like, we do a lot of group stuff too. Try Facebook groups, ask your question in the groups, and then everybody else gets to jump up and serve as well. And they love that. So those are a couple little cool things we do.
That's awesome. And, I call what you just talked about babysitting and changing diapers, right?
Yeah.
You're either focused on creating for yourself and for the team, or you're changing diapers. So whoever doesn't want success bad enough to reach out to you, it's going to be a little rough road, right?
Yeah. So Andre, I love your take on, like, so I've always looked at that, like, natural entrepreneurs or people who've already been entrepreneurs, they tend to be more proactive like that. Yep. What's your advice for someone? Because I know my team's watching this thing too, is like, what's your advice for someone who they don't feel comfortable with that? Like, I'll tell a fast story. When I first started in 2006, I had an amazing sponsor in Upline, like really one of them's the president of one of the industry organizations. And they told me, Jason, if we don't answer your call, send me a text message and then send me another one every 3 or 4 hours until I get back to you. And I was like,
amen.
And they even said, you won't be bugging me. But me, I was like, dude, that seems super rude. And I wouldn't do it. And so I wasn't reaching out. And I connected with them here and there, but it wasn't as much mentoring as I had the opportunity to, because I was just shy. And so I just asked that, what's your advice for, I don't even know how I got past that, just pushing my comfort zone all the time.
Yeah. Like, so I think you said it, you said you were shy. So when you're shy, you're making it about you.
Yeah.
You're not making it about your team's growth, your future growth. You're making it about the insecure, fear-placed me today. Number one. Number two, you could be shy. You could be in that position where, oh my God, you know, that's Joe Schmo up there, and I don't know if I can, because you have him up on a pedestal. And so you build a story around your fear to give it validity. And all of a sudden it becomes this big monster. Oh my God, it's Joe Schmo. But here's what happens. You could be in that fearful place called hell. And you could be like, there's no freaking way I'm texting Joe Schmo. But what happens is this: if you run out of oxygen and you need that next breath of air, you're going to call Bob.
Yeah.
Joe, Schmo, whoever, right?
Yep.
So it comes back to everything we talk about. How big is your why? If you're here to make $2 a month, you're not going to freaking text Joe. If you're here to do big things because you're coming out of bankruptcy, your wife's going to leave you, your husband's going to go, the house is foreclosing, the cars are going to go, I can't feed the kids. You're going to, you follow me? So the bigger the pain and the bigger the why, the bigger your motivation will be to get a hold of Joe Schmo. So I call it the bullshit factor. Like, show me your bullshit up front so I know exactly how to deal with you. And look, I mean, our team is large. Your team is large. How many people actually reach out to you? Because, oh my God, it's Jason. Oh my God, it's Andre. And I'm like, dude, you text me 24/7. I respond to people in minutes, if not seconds, right? Yeah. But the few that do get an answer. So great question. I call it bullshit. Get over it.
Yeah, I love that. I love you brought up the pit and pedestals too. That's a really... I haven't talked about that a lot with, you know, publicly a lot, but I think it's one of those important things when I realized, like, I lived most of my life looking at people up on a pedestal,
sure,
and then not realizing I had a DeMartini friend point out to me, like, whenever you do that, you're actually putting yourself down in a pit, which means you also put other people down in pits. And it really got me thinking, because I've always given people a fair shot overall. And it got me thinking about, like, well, who am I putting in a pit then? Because this is like, I have to be if I'm putting others on pedestals, including myself. So that was a really powerful awakening. My biggest thing that I've had to work on, and it still creeps up, it's probably one of my biggest things that needs improvement the most. And I've been working on this for over a decade, is my primary question back in 2010, I was at a live event, and I realized the primary question my entire life was, do they like me?
Wow.
And when I realized that, all my life had been filtered by every freaking thing, all of it. It held back my soccer career. It's everything was around that. And it took me a few years to even start changing it, but the awareness really, like, it's helped a lot to be like, I say, I don't know if it's all the right words. Like, I don't care as much about what other people think, but I do care about people so much to where I want to help inspire the right people. I say the right people because there's some people that are never going to be the right ones. And I'm cool with that now, which I wasn't. I used to be like, well, will they like me? Like, dude, do your thing. It's cool.
That's awesome. What's amazing is, the idea of, do they like me, or does she like me, does he like me, comes from a place of, I'm not enough.
Exactly.
Right. So when you build up that foundation into, I'm a fucking badass, now magic happens. right? Because now people want to have the question for you. I wonder if Jason likes me. I wonder if he'll take my call, right? Because you exude that confidence that everybody wants. It's contagious, right?
Yep.
So yeah, so I mean, obviously, you've grown. I mean, I didn't know you 10 years ago, but just what I've seen in the last couple of years, phenomenal work. So let's go into self-development, and for your team, anybody listening, and look, as a quick pause here, as we're midway, anybody looking to work from home, get a business going, make money, figure out a cell phone, like you don't want to go back to the job, you don't want a stimulus check, like you want to be in control of your shit, either find a way to get a hold of Jason Cardamone. He's on Facebook. For me, go to badassreefactory.com, click on CBD in your home, get involved, get going. We can help you guys change whatever it is you want to change. But remember, we ain't going to change your diaper. You actually got to work your ass off. Okay, disclaimer.
I love that. I love it, bro.
I had to talk to me about self-development, because I know you brought up DeMartini, one of my heroes. How important is it, and like what's the message you want to send to people that are watching you for the first time, and also your team?
It's actually so of my brand, my tagline is 3 parts of it, and the very first part is learn. It's learn, inspire, grow. And sorry, learn, grow, inspire. I can't even get my own tagline right. But critical. So how important is personal development? Learning. It's the first part. It's the foundation. It's literally my number 1 or number 2 value, depending on where I'm at in life.
Nice.
It is, in my hallucination of 44 years on planet Earth, it's the most important thing for any person in any endeavor. I don't care what it is. If they're not learning from the masters and modeling from someone who's paved the path in front of them,
amen,
then they're not going to have the same level of success, nor as efficiently. And there's always gifts in that too. Learning stuff on your own, school of hard knocks, like gifts come out of that, like perseverance and things. But there's a lot of, there's a huge amount of shortcuts by just finding a mentor that's done the things you're trying to do. And so that all just ties into always develop. There is no end. I used to think there's like, you get to some level and
your person like you've arrived.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's all it does is get more. You want to go deeper and wider and explore more things, because the more you start learning, you're like, it's like, so I'll use like a comfort bubble. As you start expanding this thing, imagine that's like your knowledge base as well. When you start expanding, you can now see from a new perspective, and you're like, God, I was blind back then. I don't want to, like, I must be blind now. I got to go like learn what else is down this path.
Yep.
And I think there is just it's constant, never-ending improvement. It's the most rewarding. It's the most rewarding thing that I know how to do. And even it's funny. It's one of those things that there's plenty of days where I don't want to start an audio, or I just want to listen to music, or I don't want to read a book.
Yep.
And every damn time I've just cracked and said, fine, I'll read 1 page or I'll listen for a minute. It always turns into something more. And when I do that consistently, it's really made a big difference. I've done that hundreds of times, that little game I just shared.
That's huge, because we're creatures of habit. I mean, you know this very well, but when I'm saying what I'm saying, I'm talking to the audience, not necessarily you, but we're creatures of habit, and what you do every day, you are. That's it. That's who you are. So with that, anybody that's first jumping into this thing called affiliate marketing, online marketing, network marketing, I'm selling CBD, damn it. What does it look like? What's like day one? What happens? How talk to me about what somebody to expect when they first get going.
I would say that the most important thing is to plug in, ask your sponsor what to do, and realize that whoever brought you into the business, they've had some level of success. Even if you're their first person, they're still more experienced than you in some ways. Maybe not in all of life or all of business, but they knew enough and you saw enough to join. And also realize that so this is for everybody. if your sponsor is someone where you're not getting all the answers you want, or maybe they're not as experienced yet, that's okay. Don't be afraid to go above them and keep moving up the line to find the person, that two parts that you really want to work with, but also they have to be willing to work with you. So that's where it shows up. Like if you're not showing up as the right person, certain mentors will be like, well, dude, you need to go get to 500K before I'm going to work with you, like kind of a thing. So day one would be ask your sponsor what to do. Plug into whatever. A lot of teams have Facebook groups or some kind of a like startup kind of a guide. And there's amazing stuff in the back office as well. Just back office training. Guys, my dad just started in the past week. He went through all of, listen, this is amazing. My dad is, I think he's 73, I believe.
Oh,
in the first week in business, he went through all of the convention footage from this recent convention, every single person, and all of the training section. That's cool. Like many hours. And I was impressed. I was like, and my dad's always been amazing with that. I recommend a book and he just reads it. He just read GoPro in the last week as well.
Wow.
So I share all this because that's the sign of someone like they're immersing in the material, and pretty soon it just starts like flying out of their mouth, out of their heart. Their vision is being expanded. So I think those are important things early on, is plug into what training there is, and really freaking 10x take massive action. It's a huge part. I think when I first started, if I were to give myself advice when I first started, my first month in the business ever, that what I did amazing, I was complete ignorance on fire. I took time off work to build the business. I used all of my vacation.
Smart.
I did there's a 3-on-3 soccer tournament. Instead of playing in it, I set up a booth and like handed out samples. Like I just hustled my ass off for a month. And so that's what I did great. Ignorance on fire. What I could have did better, plug in more and get more advice from my upline. So I had a lot of upline that were really experienced, and I could have utilized them. It wasn't that I wasn't teachable. I just didn't know. Like I said, I was like kind of shy. So I was like, I didn't want to bug them.
Right. Yeah.
So, and I think there's a part of that. There was a part of me that's like, well, when I get to this certain rank, then I'll talk to that person more. And I still have parts of that in me. So there's parts of me like, until I get to a certain rank, I'm not going to go start, proactively.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just that's just how I'm wired. I'm just being like straight up.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So let me ask you a question, because this is the beauty of these conversations, because people think, oh man, it's about business. Yeah, but it's about who you are that shows up to the business, right? Business ain't going to do itself.
Yep.
So let me ask you a question. What would you do if you gave 0 fucks?
Love that, dude. So I would literally go text every single person in my phone. I would email every single one of them I have an email for, and every email I could find. And I would start posting things on Facebook about something that I'm doing, even if I screw it up.
Yep.
And I would also start reaching out to my Facebook connections proactively, not just waiting around. And that the people that do that, or a version of what I just shared, what happens is that they get off to a way faster start, because they've already built rapport with some people in their sphere of influence.
That's right.
Some of them will end up coming in, and then that will give them the confidence to do whatever's next. And so dive. And this is funny, because for a long time in my career, I was like, don't ever talk to friends and family. You don't need to. We do it all through the internet.
Yeah.
And that I started realizing over the past 3 or 4 years, that's a slower way. Yeah, it might be more comfortable if you're on cruise control and you want to chill, but that's a way slower way. People have built relationships. And here's the whole thing. I was coaching a guy last week, and they were like, well, I don't want to go out and sell everybody. I'm like, dude, I'm not selling anything, bro. I'm giving an opportunity, an invitation for something that might change their life. I literally don't care if they join. I'm not chasing their money for them joining. I am presenting something, and I would love to help them if they are even open and looking for something.
Nice.
I will never sell. Like that company I sold $1 million for, the school, those people were coming to me, and if they weren't a good fit, I told them to go to the school down the street or to the community college or something like that. Like I literally turned business away, but I still was one of their top people.
Nice.
Because it wasn't sales. It was only serving people. That's it.
Right.
That's my take. That's what I've lived by. And that's what I like. I think some of the best salespeople in the world, they're there literally to serve people. Now there's some proactive skills, like hunting skills, that are really useful.
Sure. Yeah.
I've lost money and the opportunity to work with people because I tend to not do those things as much. Just being straight up, like Aaron, Aaron Raskin, Andre, like I know you guys, like you'll be way more likely to proactively go reach out to someone.
Right.
And because I don't do that up front most of the time, it totally has hurt me. And,
got it.
And especially there were like I'm especially in a dangerous spot now because now I don't need the money anymore because we're the bills are all dangerous. Like, well, now I'm not going to go chase people. Like, or maybe I actually will now.
Yeah.
And it's not. What the trick is, it's not chasing. That's the problem. It's like,
correct.
You're not ever chasing. You're literally offering value. That's the whole.
It's a connection, right? It's a connection. We're entrepreneurs, and I think you asked me in the beginning the concept of entrepreneur, and an entrepreneur understands relationships and understands creating value inside of a relationship. That's what an entrepreneur really is. And then on top of that, we provide solutions to problems. So if you are broke and you need money, I have a solution to your problem, right? That's what we do. So if we look at it from the perspective of the other person, like we're going to help them, then all of a sudden, just like you said, you were shy, you couldn't reach your upline, you're making it about you, you're being selfish. But if we flip that script and now make it about the other person, the prospect, the upline, the downline, and we're simply here to serve and to help them, man, then all of a sudden there's no pressure in me. There's no about me anymore. I can't get nervous about, it's like this. If I see you choking on a piece of bread, what am I going to do? Oh my God, I'm shy. I can't give him Heimlich right now. I can't give him mouth to mouth. Oh my God, Becky, you follow me? It's like, we're going in. We're going to save a fucking life. That's what it's about.
It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter if they're
gone.
Nothing matters. You're in.
Gone. It's perspective. That's all it is. And we spend so much time creating this bullshit in our heads that we carry around life, and we create these stories of people we can't touch, we can't do this, we can't. So there are rules to keep us in this fearful place, right? Yeah. Anyway, so I'm excited to see you at your next level of badass. I really, really am, because your heart is so phenomenal. You're such a giving person. But the reason I asked the question of zero fucks, it's like, you have so much to offer the world, not your team, the world. There's something powerful inside of you. And I'm not just throwing that out there. There's something big inside of you. And I really, really would love to see that blow up. So whatever I can do in that process, please let me know. I would love to see you be free.
Thank you, brother. That means the world to me. And it's the second you asked me, I thought you were going to ask through other people's reference, and you're like, what would you do if there were no fucks to give, or whatever I felt it right there, that I'm like, there is still some of that energy left. I've been working on this for a decade. I still felt the energy, and I'm really grateful for that awareness now. And I'm just going to be totally honest. I love who I am right now, where I've come, what I've been through. Like I remember DeMartini the other day, he was talking on, someone had asked him, like, they were interviewing him, well, who would you want to be? And he's like, I want to be myself. And there were a lot of my life where I wanted to be other people, a lot of my life. And this is one of the, and I've had moments of this, but I've had like an extended period now of like, dude, this is my life. I love this. I definitely don't want anybody else's life. And whatever parts of this that I want to improve upon. Like if I more muscle, better body, like faster running, whatever I'm looking, bigger bank account, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm the captain of this ship. What the hell am I going to do about this? Because like this is me to do this and go create my best life, my best self, to inspire others to do the exact same freaking thing.
That's right.
So
that's hot. I live by a philosophy similar to yours. I call it learn, do, teach. And that's, for me, it's very powerful, because when I say that you have something, there's greatness inside of you. That's the part where you go out there and teach the world everything you've learned, and then you help them do and then teach, right? So everything I do in all my businesses and in my family, it's all about learn, do, teach. And I think you're very, very powerful in all of that. So I'm excited to watch you blow up in 250 and 500 and all that fun stuff, and a million. So let's do this. Let's have a quick conversation about how you do it. How do you run? How do you run your? What does your day look like? How do you run your team? Let's just go there.
Oh God, it is so I'll first say I've been thriving. I had a loved one the other day say like, hey, hang in there. I was all, dude, hang in there. I'm freaking thriving. This is like the best time of my freaking life, dude. And what they see in their hallucinations, like, holy shit, Jason's working like 100 hours a week, and he never has time to talk. But what they're not understanding is I'm living my full purpose. And so what does it look like is, so I'll tell you what I've been working on for the whole last 2.5 weeks is getting more structure and getting more consistency in some of the things that I have not been consistent with. Like for example, there's some trainings I owe to the team that just, they keep getting pushed back. Like today's a huge day, last day of the month, all this stuff. And so these kind of days, a lot of those things will like get pushed off, and other things like remembering to like make dinner for the family. And, and next thing I know, I'm on a webinar. It's like 9 at night and I'm getting off and nobody's eaten. And like my kids are literally ready to just kill me. And so I share all that because it's been a clusterfuck there. Like, but that is not in a bad or negative way. I'm completely thriving. I love uncertainty. I love chaos. I love being flexible in the moment. And I know that not everybody's wired like that. Some of us are more like, throw us in, like you can throw me on a stage with a microphone. I don't care who the audience is. I will give them value, even on a subject I don't even know any. Like doctors, I'll give them value, whatever it is. And for some people, that's the greatest nightmare, where they want everything scripted and planned in the whole
structure,
day. And so what I'm doing is seeking more structure around some, like I have not been emailing all my leads as often as I should. And so things like that, getting more disciplined with like the basic stuff, basically before noon is everything I need to get done. So the idea is workout, meditation, hydration, take care of myself. All of what else? Journal, and even do things like team trainings and emails and stuff. And then noon and later, this is my world time. And the tricky thing for me, this is really, so I love contributing so much that always takes the front seat, but I can contribute so much to where like myself and my loved ones struggle from it because they are not as high of a value as me serving and contributing. But part of it is I contribute to them too. So that's, I've noticed, because it's such a high value for me, my top 2 values are contribution and growth. So like if I'm learning and I'm contributing to other people, learn stuff, share it, learn stuff, share it. And that's like my perfect day. So there is no making food as a part of that, even though health is also my number 3 or 4. So eating proper and all that is super important to me to keep the energy, to keep all that. So anyway, what does my day look like? There's more consistency than ever around my morning routines. but it definitely, there's a lot of room for improvement and really building my life around my values. A lot of like DeMartini stuff. Making sure, where am I not living by my values? What can I outsource? House cleaning. I want to bring in a full chef that just makes stuff like that. That's been my dream for like a long time. So that will, in 2020, that is here for sure. I already know that. So that's awesome, because that's been like over a decade of like, this is something we've always wanted. Like I've always wanted it really bad.
That's huge. That's a big one. And it's funny because a lot of people have guilt around that. Like, oh my God, like, I cannot have a chef in my home, or I can't have a maid in my home. How do you get over that?
Oh, dude, I get that.
I'm over
it. So we finally got a housekeeper, like, I think it was about 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years. And man, it was not comfortable. But I also knew I'm kind of OCD. I could sit there vacuuming, but when I realized, like, bro, I got $1 million business to run. Okay,
right.
Put the damn vacuum down, and like,
it's costing you money.
And so that frame always keeps me in check with my little OCD-isms. But I realized, like, my spouse, she didn't love cleaning either. She actually hated it too. So we're like, well, how this can serve both of us, and we get to give benefit to this other it was actually a friend of my cousin's who runs a cleaning company. And so we brought her in, and she was our housekeeper for like a couple of years, and it worked out really awesome. We had the fears of like, well, is someone going to steal stuff? No, because with this is a reference. So what are they going to judge us because it's a shitstorm and there's dust everywhere? Well, that's what they're so then at the beginning, my spouse would always clean up before they came to clean. I'm like, dude, just freaking let them do their job. But that, I think the big thing, because this goes with outsourcing to people too, you're giving someone an opportunity and you're blessing them. All you're doing is trading resources, but you're allowing them to live their gifts. Our housekeeper, she loves cleaning. She totally loves it, and she gets paid well. And so it's really awesome. And I actually have to bring her back because she was on a hiatus about 1.5 years ago. I'd be like, dude, we got to stop this because we're going broke. Actually, 2 years ago. I'm off track here. 2 years. So
that's amazing. So what you just did right there was really interesting, because you flipped the script on having the money or not having the money, etc. You focused on the person, on blessing that person with income, which means she can feed her family, she can get gas, whatever. She is building a business. So it's the same way you can flip a script on prospects or upline when the nerves kick in. It's the same thing we talked about. It's like, hey, look, if you make it about the other person, it's so much easier. That's huge. Thank you for that. That was badass. All right, I'm going to do one more question and then we'll wrap it up. So what is because you have experience in network marketing, affiliate marketing, what is your big, and again, this is for everybody listening, whether you're live, replay, YouTube, podcast, etc. What is your big excitement around HempWorks, My Daily Choice, and the compensation plan specifically?
I was actually just about to just go off. Like, thank you for directing the compensation. Okay. I freaking love everything about this company. It's my dream. This company has things I didn't even know to ask or look for that I didn't even know were possible. And we have every freaking category, nailed it, knocked it out of the park. So compensation plan, it has the most amazing. So there's 3 parts to a comp plan. It's like front end, middle end, back end. And what that means is like a person's ability to make money up front, the middle term, and then long term. And there's plans out there, they only help you long term, which means you're screwed for your first 2 or 3 years in business. And then there's other plans, they're front heavy, but then you're screwed after a year in the business. And so to balance all that, it's really special. And I give so much props to Josh Swagel, like freaking genius with what.
Yeah.
So our particular plan is called a binary unilevel hybrid, and that's always been my favorite ever, but I've never seen anybody do one where they build in power lines and Thursday deadlines and the whole cycle. It's the most genius thing. Yeah. it takes the best part of other comp plans that have crazy weaknesses and it adds their benefits into what we have. But our plan already are some of our strengths are what was covered by the other plan's weaknesses. It's freaking amazing. It's absolutely brilliant. So what I love is people's ability to make good money, get rewarded fast. Like they get paid in their first, like you basically get paid 7 to 13 days from when you start bringing in your first money. Like to get paid that fast, you're not like waiting 30, 40 days or longer. That's amazing. And then to also have the middle and the back end, like guys, so we were just talking about the number, and Andre, I don't know if we need income disclaimers or whatever, but the number for the 100K, the residual component of it, I looked it up right when we were talking about that. That's like, it's life changing. It's two G's, and it's freaking,
it's big.
That's just like that's just one of 8 ways I think
that's right.
Plays.
Yeah,
and it's I actually remember when Aaron and Kathy were hitting this bonus that I just hit and all this stuff around a year ago.
Yep.
And I was like, man, that would provide so much more stability and life change. But here's what's amazing. That 2K, the number wasn't like in my consciousness because it's not the biggest part of the plan. Like not
right. Yeah, you're right.
And so not that it's not absolute, it's life changing. It's a huge freaking deal.
It is.
And I know other plans were like just that component alone. So that's like not even in there. Or you have to use it for your house or your car or those things.
That's right. That's a good one.
It's freaking awesome. Like the truth is, if I would have had to use the car bonus for the last like year or whatever on a car, that would not have been ideal in any way for my life. That would not have been a good thing. But because I got to use that for food and things that it was needed for, now the car that it will be used for is going to be like fitting of what I've wanted anyway.
So what are you going to get?
You're going to get a piece of crap, basically.
I know, but what's the dream car? What's next?
To be honest, I'm open right now. My big dream car, it went away for a long time, but it's a Lamborghini, and I drove my friend out in San Diego. He bought one off the lot, and he let me drive it a few miles off the lot, brand new.
Oh, very nice.
Amazing experience. I'd never been in a supercar, much less.
Oh, very cool.
So that's not super short term. That's more like my Jason's reward fun time. I mean, it only has 2 damn seats. I have like freaking 3 kids. Like nobody can even fit in.
Yeah. That's for date night.
I honestly don't know. We had this badass Yukon Denali that I loved, and I had to get rid of it like 2 years ago. And so that was super cool. It's the exact same thing as an Escalade, same engine, same plant. It just has a different emblem on the front.
Yep.
And I've always loved Teslas as well. And so I'm super open right now. I'm like, there's no rush. I actually like driving around my 2001 Acura because I'm like, dude, this is like what Kiyosaki and everybody talks about. Like I'm playing amazing.
Yeah.
Like I paid it off 3 separate freaking times, taking loans out on a car.
That's funny.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm open to it. I do. There was a time where I was like, I'll never have a Lambo. It just doesn't make sense.
Oh, you'll get one.
It does with what I know I can build towards.
Absolutely, bro.
Especially when I'm helping in a lot of ways, in a lot of places.
Which Lambo? Do you know which one specifically?
It's so funny. I was sitting here as I'm saying this. I'm like, I literally forgot the whole damn car, and I talk about it all the time.
Oh, that's well, so it's either going to be the Huracan, which is the latest.
It is Huracan.
All right.
Thank you.
The one before was the Gallardo.
Yeah, so it's only because my friends own 4 Lambos. He's driven many models. And he's like, the Huracan is the best handling. He loves it, and that's the one I drove, and it was really freaking awesome.
Oh, they're incredible. This is my my last one.
Woo! What is that?
That's the Gallardo. This is the one right before the Huracan.
Yep. Freaking awesome, dude.
And Spider is the way to go. Dude. Actually, I want the Huracan I want that burnt orange.
Nice.
The lava orange.
That's awesome.
We digress, but that's why we do this shit, right? It's for Lambos. Let's keep it real. Like, look, so the idea in business and in everything we do is to be abundant, right? So we take care of our families. We give them a great home. We have assets. We have investments. And from all of that, we have to play. That's what keeps us entrepreneurs going. So I'm excited to for you to get your Lambo, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. It's really, you know what? The reason it fell off is because I realized I love serving and contributing so much. And the idea of like, you know, starting personal development libraries and like just a lot of giving kind of things. And I realized like, well, dude, I can do all of this stuff. It's not trading one for the other. Right. It was programming from when I was younger. Like, that's right. Oh, you could give 2,000 to a church instead of for a Lamborghini. Like, well, yeah, I can do all of that. I can give 50 churches and own 10 Lambos. So that's a like, money is important to me, but it's only so we can live our best lives. Amen. And really, like, I love like slipping $100 bills to people when they don't know. Like the last day the haircutters were open in Colorado, they didn't know they were about to close, and I thought they might, and I just like, I knew my hairstylist really well, and I just gave her $100 for the whole thing for just one haircut, and I was like, and she like teared up, and it was so cool. I didn't do it, and I don't even share this stuff. I never talk about this because for me, and it was for her, but it's such a rewarding experience. That's the kind of stuff. Money's just a tool to, you know, make the world a better place around us.
I agree. It's simply a tool. Well, for everybody out there that's live right now, could you please say thank you to the one and only Jason Cardamone, and also drop in the comments your biggest takeaway from Jason. What did he provide for you as value that you could use in life, business, or which Lamborghini to purchase? Hey, these are all nuggets, baby.
I love it.
Dude, thank you again. Congratulations. Most importantly, congratulations on hitting 100K. It's a big deal in HempWorks. I really look forward. I mean, gosh, hold on a second. We have convention coming up in 3 months. 250 might be around the corner. So let's see you up on that stage with phenomenal achievements. Thank you again for being here. And I'll see you on stage.
Yes, Andre, thank you so much for this opportunity. And I want to thank you and Tammy especially for all your support. You guys have always reached out. You've always given me help when I've needed it. And I'll actually share with you, at last convention, when I came up to you guys and said, I'm going 100K by the end of the year, and it didn't make any sense. I didn't even fully believe it yet, but I have to speak things into existence.
Sure.
And it happened. And then, so what I'm going to do is a version of that right now. And I'm looking you right in the eye saying, I'm going at least 250K by convention.
Boom!
And that's, and now I have the whole world observing too.
That's right.
It's our little group. And so, and that only comes from serving a lot of people. That's what it's all about. And I appreciate Andre, you and Tammy so much. You guys are freaking amazing. I appreciate your energy and everything you pour into us.
Amen. Love you, brother. Have a phenomenal day. And I'll see you at convention on stage, at least 250K.
Yes, sir. Love you, brother. Thank you, man.
Love you, man. Everybody, this was Jason Cardamone. Drop in the comments, please. Exactly. Of course, thank him for his time. And of course, drop the nugget that you're going to use the most. And that does it for another phenomenal episode of the Hempibition, which comes to you live via Facebook every single Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific. And here's bottom line. Anywhere you are in the world and you're looking to create some kind of income, we have products that are global. And you can start a home-based business. Simply you get your own website that's automated from the company. You become what's called an affiliate, and anybody that buys products or launches a business through your website, you get paid. It's that simple. So again, anybody looking to create income, this is the place to go. For me, badassrefactory.com. Click on the CBD link and it'll take you to the page. The page is being revamped right now. The new one should be up literally today, tomorrow. So it'll look better, it'll act better, it'll be more beautiful. That's it. I love you guys. Have a phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal day. Thank you for hanging out with us, and share the shit out of this. How's that? Peace out.